Hisham Ben Khamsa joins me now from Tunis. Hisham, it looks like a crowded field. Nearly 24 people are vying in the first round. Who'll advance into the second round?
Well, the bets are all open, and nobody really knows since officially there are no polls on the elections. A lot of in-talks, a lot of people are putting people ahead. But the main point is that up to like 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., the voting rate was very, very low. And so it's anybody's bet. Besides, everybody is focusing on this election, the presidential election, when the real stakes are coming in a couple of weeks from now in the legislative elections because of the Tunisian system of government.
Let's talk about that system. Some presidential candidates, notably
now, what happened is that.
All right, so notably we have Zebidi having expressed some sort of frustration with the current constitutional configuration.
I'm sorry.
When you look at the current system, it basically allows neither for a presidential or parliamentary system, and this has been a concern for some presidential candidates. Is that what you're alluding to?
Absolutely. Actually, this is a bad legacy from the Constituent Assembly in 2011, when they chose, under the pressure of another Islamist party who wanted to get into a parliamentary system. But on the other side, they didn't want to go too much far away from the presidential system that was before, during the Ben Ali years. And they ended up, as any Tunisian would do, basically into some form of consensus that is not leading anybody anywhere. The rule says that from the legislative elections, the party that will have the first position, not just the majority, but the first position, will name a head of government. For the last 8 years, we've been navigating through this type of system. Does it give us more chances? In some odd ways, the country is pretty stable in that way, even if sometimes it's a sum of zeros. And what happened more than anything else is, if I had to give you what is the main point of today's election, is that slowly but surely we are stabilizing the country into some form of democracy.
But there is a lot of instability. I mean, some Tunisians are plainly asking also, what democracy is really actually giving them. Jobs are scarce, so unemployment is high, the economy is struggling, and the security situation is perhaps worse than it was back in 2011. So do Tunisians feel that there hasn't been the progress that they had hoped for?
No, actually, it's not that bleak as anybody would like to see it, because remember that we have in the southern border, we have a war, a latent war going on in Libya. We have all these refugees, and I'm not even talking about the outside influences in moving things around the country with foreign agendas. But yes, of course, there is a global crisis. The economy has been suffering from terrorist attacks in past years. This year, the economy has been doing fairly all right. The touristic season is very good, as a matter of fact, and the agricultural season is pretty interesting. But the lack of visibility is more political than anything else. Of course, that has incidence on the total mood of the country. Especially with the young people who feel disaffected. And when you look also at the field of 26 people running to be president of the republic, especially knowing that the prerogatives of the president of the republic are quite limited. In Tunisia, the president of the republic is in charge of foreign policy, defense, and diplomacy. So most of the powers are in the hands of the head of government, which is the second part of the executive branch, and even that person is can be, as we've seen in the last couple of years, sometimes in the hands of the legislative branch, which is the parliament, and the parliament is totally fragmented. So yeah, the instability is due to the lack of visibility, mostly, I would say.
Okay, Hisham Ben Khamsa, I appreciate your analysis. Thank you.